Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about 6 tips to get you ready for military fitness. You might be joining the Royal Marines, the Royal Navy, the RAF, the Army, it might be USMC, whatever it is. These tips are going to be beneficial and applicable to you. The first one's used by professional sports teams all over the world. It's beneficial for sport, elite athletes, elite soldiers and that. And it's to make your training specific. It's no good me doing loads of hypertrophy work and bicep curls and stuff like that if I've got a 5k best effort in a month's time. What does my training look like and how am I gearing it around what the specific target is? For instance, if you're joining the Royal Marines, you've got your PJFT, which is a bodyweight circuit. So when we program for our members, we break it down into 3 tiers. Tier 3 is PJFT and it's very specific around getting you prepared for that. Then they might move on to their CPC, which is like a 2-3 day test at Limpston, and it's a lot more thrashings and best effort stuff and running and all that. So then they move on to tier 2, which is based around that, and then tier 3 is getting ready for recruit training. And so, you know, we add more elements that are based around that. So it's really important to get your training specific to the targets that you're trying to hit. Number 2, don't feel silly for backing off and gradually building. What I see a lot of the times when people are getting ready for the military is they might not have ever ran properly over sort of 5k or something like that. All of a sudden they think, right, I'm joining the army, I've got to start running 6 miles. And they'll go out and they'll do 3 6-milers in the first week, message and say they've got shin splints, and it's because your body's not conditioned to do that. You've got to gradually build up over time. It's like, I'm not very clever when it comes to say maths or anything. But when it comes to maths, so in order for me to pass my GCSEs, which I'd had to do at 24, embarrassingly, because I was a mug at 16, gradually build up my knowledge, my understanding, learn about algebra, etc. It's like I couldn't just go straight into my GCSE exam and pass it. I had to build up to it, and it's exactly the same with fitness. Gradually build up, give yourself ample time to get prepared. As long as you're working hard, you're focused on the end goal, then it's okay to just gradually build up, and that's what a good training plan will always do. Number 3 is sort of a 2-part one. It's train in all weather conditions and also get used to getting outside and walking for long distances. In this day and age, we've got gyms in every town, you know, multiple gyms and stuff. 20 years ago, that wasn't really the case. And so people were sort of forced outside to do their exercise a lot more. Now we're quite, you know, we're quite privileged with that, and we can, you know, look out the window and it's a bit wet and stuff, so I'll go to the gym and do my session. But actually, we know that in military environments, military training, a lot of it's conducted outside. So start getting used to getting out, and, you know, when it's raining, don't let that put you off your runs. You know, getting used to being out in the elements, in harsh conditions, and gradually build that resistance. I think I speak for pretty much every service, is that you are going to be outside a lot. You are going to be doing a lot of walking, a lot of heavy loaded carries and stuff, especially if you're looking to join sort of like the Paras, Royal Marines, you know, those sort of levels of services. You've got to get out and get used to being out in those elements and getting the hills and walking for hours at a time, and, you know, learning how to operate in those conditions. I think looking back at my own experience when I joined, I was very fit, I was boxing a lot and training a lot, but actually I wasn't conditioned being out on the hills for 4 or 5 hours. So that was quite a bit of a shock when we were on Woodbury Common in recruit training for a couple of days at a time. You know, I wasn't conditioned to it, and I was a bit of a wimp, to be honest. So that's what something I'd really recommend doing in your military prep. Incorporating weight training. Is your body strong enough for the demands that are going to be put on it? Now, you don't have to go and become an absolute legend powerlifter, but maybe squatting with a barbell, or doing deadlifts with a trap bar, or even just, you know, shoulder press with dumbbells and incline press and things like that, and strengthen your back with lat pull downs and rows and things like this. Really building up your strength in resistance training is going to be really beneficial. There's a lot of myths based around weight training that, you know, if you train weights, you're going to lose your cardio or you're going to get bulky and stuff. A lot of that is nonsense, and actually it's about how you are conducting with your nutrition alongside that sort of training. Also, there's different rep ranges and different sets that I can put in another video that's going to be really beneficial. I would always say though that to get correct instruction before you start doing any of these. So getting a couple of sessions with a good reputable PT in your area can be really beneficial, and actually in the long run can help you. Often in like motivational videos and videos like this, it's just fully all about training, but actually the recovery side is as important, if not more important. Putting in correct recovery protocols and eating well, nutrition, get enough protein in, get enough carbs in, fuel in your body, and getting enough sleep. These things are massive. If you look at every elite athlete, they have these things down to a T, and that often can be that 1 or 2% difference between being a professional athlete and an elite athlete. Look at every area of your life and say, is this a beneficial habit? Is this something that's helping me closer to my goal? Or is being on Call of Duty till 2 a.m. every night, is that hindering my goals? Is that hindering my exercise? Is that stopping me from recovering and getting stronger and getting faster? And start nipping those things in the bud. I would say recovery is massively overlooked within the military. Whereas as sports science has developed, we're starting to realise how much these things are super important. So to be an elite soldier or to be an elite athlete, it's about doing the basics really well. Basics of training, basics of nutrition, basics of recovery. And these three things really play into each other. There's some of my top tips. I could talk about this stuff all day long. Obviously, if you want structured, clear progressions and programming, you can have a look at the programs in our description. We've got hundreds of members getting ready all around the world for different services and stuff like that. So I don't want to turn this into a sales pitch, but you can have a look. And we're always available for messages on Instagram. Nice one, guys. Hope that was a helpful video. Cheers.